Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing? Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author's Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me inside the zone nyc at gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592. For 2 days, the 5 o'clock hour is hot on Fit FM 96.7, www.fitfmja.com. Your life, your music with Lady D Denise Gomez inside the zone. Catch me on Monday at 5 p.m. for the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. And on Friday, yes, at 5 p.m. for Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. From abroad to yard, Trelawney. You want work? Work there, Farin. In Jamaica, the dream of a better life often leads many to set their sights on the land of opportunity, America. But as they embark on this journey, they quickly realize that the path to success is not always paved with gold. Instead, they find themselves navigating a world of weird, unusual, difficult, and dangerous jobs, roles they never imagined in their wildest dreams. Life in Jamaica may be hard, but here in America, it's a whole different ball game. A Satideh morning runnings. Come, make we talk. A Satideh, another Saturday morning runnings. What a great, great feeling that we are here. Slap with cheeks and say, Medea, Medea. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday morning runnings. It's a great day. We are here this morning to talk, share, engage, and to spread the word that listen, no matter where we find ourselves in life, no matter what decisions we made, no matter why we do them, when we fall into this situation or we slept into it, rolled into it, we have to make do and to live life the best way we can, we know how. It promises to be an interesting conversation that requires us to share our experiences, and we ask you to do the same. It's Saturday, you know. You want work? Walk there, Farin. I'll leave it there. Ladies, how are you?
Doing fine. The spring is springing. It's gorgeous to look at outside. I haven't been out there yet, but it's looking gorgeous.
Sure. So gorgeousness is speaking here this
Oh
morning.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
experienced a whopping 80 degrees on Wednesday.
Oh,
Thursday.
What?
Was it Thursday? Thursday.
yeah, we
80
went.
degrees. It was so beautiful.
Already?
Yeah,
Yes.
Wow.
And
we
today
went
is in
Uh-uh.
the 70s, but it's
we
kind
went
of
up to
rainy here. But
70. We went up to 70.
okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, we had all the way at 80. We went to 81. It was
But I
81 on Thursday. Yeah.
I was
Mm.
still very careful because we can't just let ourselves go. Just
Yes, come see people jump in a shots already, not me.
But here we have been dilly dallying in the upper 60s, and people are wearing thin strap and shorts are up here already with that, much less 80 and
That's crazy.
81. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a call for sickness.
I don't play with the weather. I don't play with the weather at
No,
all.
no, you can't.
You can't just
them
jump from cold into
yeah, them can't
Well,
wait.
it's
Summer
back
will
and
be here
forth.
soon enough, though.
yeah.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
will be here soon enough. Yep.
So it has been a good week, a hectic week for some. Um,
Uh-huh.
you're retired and you are perhaps about to board a vessel, a ship somewhere, or your plant garden somewhere. The weather varies.
Yeah.
Or if you are working endlessly and you have not found the time to
Mm,
take a breather, to take a break, and to look around you, appreciate
right.
God's creation, appreciate what He has given,
Yes.
then you're missing out. You know how many people at retirement say they did not do a lot of things prior
Yeah.
to retirement. And
Yeah.
there are those who, the moment they're planning for retirement, they get sick or they die or something.
Oh
So
God.
if it's
It's
the
true.
moment to go out
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sit down into an ice cream store, eat an ice cream, talk to
Mm-hmm.
talk to somebody, hold hands if you have nobody to hold hand with, meet
Take a
people,
walk.
take a walk,
Yeah, you can do things that don't cost any
that
money,
don't
you
cost
know?
much.
Yeah.
That doesn't cost
Yeah.
I
much.
took a
Yeah.
nice long walk on Wednesday when it was 80 degrees. Norman and we went for a nice long walk in our subdivision.
There you
It was
go.
just so beautiful. I said, let's drop the TV, drop whatever we're doing, and go take a walk before it gets
Right.
late and before it gets too cold. Because once it gets up to 7 o'clock those time, and even though it's bright outside, it start getting chilly again. So you take a walk, get some sunshine.
Yes.
It's free.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not paying for sunshine. That is true. Good morning, Jack.
Right. She's
Jackie
sleeping.
frozen.
Jackie freezing.
Look at
Listen, I'm on a
God, just
whole
without
new
that sleep.
computer. Listen, I took up the computer this morning, turn it on. The computer decided to update and
Oh,
decided that it didn't want to stop
Oh.
updating
Mm-hmm.
because
okay.
I've been putting it off, putting it off. So I guess it just decided that okay, this one is
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
one.
That will happen. You can't make it
I had to
update overnight because sometimes
my
it takes
school computer.
Mm-hmm.
forever. Hmm. Well, glad to see you.
That is
Yeah, but because that's my personal computer, I
Welcome.
don't use it a lot. But this is my school computer, so it's still updating, but I'm on the school computer. So
oh.
how do you do? How do you do?
How they do? How they do?
Ah.
How did you
How do you do?
how they do it?
We're going on. We're going on.
Yep. We are going with
That's
ourselves.
called word
Gosh, I'm
making up.
here.
She's
Yep.
creating her own dictionary.
Yep. We are going with ourselves. But Jamaicans have what is it now? It is widely said, at least in the New York area, that Jamaicans have 10 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They always say that you hardly find. I
Yes.
remember when I started working a second job. So I was working a regular 9 to 5, and then couple blocks away. Well, in the cities, east side to west side.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also doing another job which started at from 5 to 10. So I'm stepping out of one at 5. I'm supposed to get to another one where start 5. So every day I'm late like 10-15 minutes, but it was 5 to 10. And I remember one time one guy said, "Man, you Jamaicans, y'all got 10 jobs." So it's a thing where they always say Jamaicans always have an extra job. But I tell him, I say, if we have a goal in mind, we're not doing it just to do it. Because I remember this guy that used to work with me. He used to take off every summer. Not that he had that much time, but he loved all the amusement parks. So he would go on a tour of the amusement parks. You're talking a grown man, He
Mhm.
would go Great Adventure. He would go all of them, and he would need the entire summer. So every summer, he would take off. And one time they said, "Look, you can't keep doing it," and he quit.
Oh, he took
He
it
quit
personal.
because that is his thing. He
That's
have
his
to
thing.
go.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to go. So I tell him, I said, when you see, Jamaica, I say, I know my people and I know myself. If we're doing more than one job, we're doing it for a reason, and we're gonna do it for a specific period of time until we get whatever we need to get. We're not gonna keep doing it, but we know what we are about. Because I remember the first time, well, I was the first, I was the only person of color, put it that way, at the job. And I remember one time, I think it was a phone call I had gotten, and this other guy came in the office, and I was in full patois. I think it was one of my sisters I was talking to. And he said, "Oh my," when I finished, he said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Jamaica." And he said, "Well, why are you here?" He said, "I've been to Jamaica. It's beautiful. You have this there, you have that there. If it was me, I would never come here." So I said, "Well, I'm just here to work. I'll leave when I'm ready. But one day I'm leaving." And he said, "Man, I would never have came here if I was you." So we are a hardworking people, and sometimes in some situations we'll do whatever it takes because we have a goal in mind.
So that's which is a perfect segue into the conversation this morning, because we are saying that there are so many people here in the diaspora, and particularly as Jamaicans, who in Jamaica we feel like we just get by. This we use the term the struggle is real.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Jamaica, you don't find us having three jobs
Right.
unless you tap into that market. Maybe,
Mm-hmm.
maybe now they're doing that because technology has advanced and so on. So you may have companies that require people in certain skills, and you have the skill and you want to make that extra dough. But
Right.
it's not a thing that we do. Uh, I
Until
think
we come a
what
fire.
happened along the way,
Until we come up very much.
There we go. Yeah, but I think what happened along the way, while we're there and we see, because then not many had TV one time, then TV came into being, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You had dish, then you have cable and all of that now. So we are on par with everything that's happening. And in addition to that, the people who were living here and would travel home, they came with that kind of a um, spirit of accomplishment, that they were excelling, and we gravitated to that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we looked at the clothing, we looked at the money they come with and what they told us. And even as we had that one-on-one experience, we are observing that, oh, it seemed that things are better overseas and I should leave. That is now if nobody never filed for you and bring you here. So
Mm-hmm.
those who came willfully came for a myriad of reasons why we left. Some came
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted to have baby here. Some came because somebody said, "Oh, may I earn X, and you can make." And look how much you're earning. And you say you're in an office, and and they wear you down, and
Mm-hmm.
you'd be surprised why
Yeah.
we come here. But then we come, and this is where we open the floodgates now for all of us to participate. Then we come.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we come,
Hmm.
it's either we walk into a beautiful experience or we walk into a horrid something that we wonder if we should have take the first little pier when we get here, book a
And
ticket
go on
and,
back.
and go on back home,
Yeah.
because it is rough. So yes, work there. And if anybody asks, Denise is not going to say don't come. I would
Mm-hmm.
say, listen, if you're coming at a particular age, there is a big difference, because
Right.
The hiring, if you notice, them not really hire you if you reach 60 to 5. So I go up.
But
So
do you remember the
that's
days?
another problem.
Yeah, but do you recall
Yes.
the days when you would put your date of birth on your resume?
No, you're
You
not do
remember?
that. You not do
That
that.
now do again. There was a time you put it so that automatically they know how old you are.
Right.
Yes.
No.
And
Mm-mm.
I recall a family member of mine, skilled, have her stuff, but she was by then heading into her late 50s, and they would have given her the job. The 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 first 1, 2, 3 interviews were good, but then they said no, they couldn't give her the
Well,
job.
here in
And after
Georgia,
somebody who, because it was someone in who was working there, a reputable advertising company, had gotten wind of it inside and said, boy, they really like her, but it was her age.
wow.
But that
So,
is age discrimination.
well, it happened all the time.
They're not supposed to.
Yeah, it happened
Even
all
in
the
the
time.
fine print on some of these things, they will tell you they don't discriminate on age, race, gender, religious beliefs, etc. They're not. They can't just
Right.
flat out
Yes.
say that.
Yeah, no.
They don't,
So
but they do.
again,
And they,
so 1 minute, Max. Again, they didn't tell her that,
Oh, it was just okay.
but it's the person who worked there,
Mm-hmm.
mention it to her. So
Oh.
we are saying, we no say no come. We would have never get ourselves in that kind of situation to say, don't come. What we
Mm-hmm.
say, if you're coming, kind of strategize the whole thing before you come, because some came and the rude awakening happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's no real plan to the thing. And like
Yeah.
form or any kind of relocation, whether it's to you're transitioning into a job, even if you're gonna get another job, you're not gonna scout out the job first
Of
before
course.
Yeah.
usually.
You have to know how to maneuver yourself. You have to have a plan A, B, C, and D. Sometimes E, F, and G.
Mhm. So,
Because it just not true.
True, a serious thing.
mhm,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
I was about to say
mhm,
that you mentioned that you don't put your age on
your
resume
resume.
anymore. But here in Georgia, well, it's not really a job, but it's considered a job. If you're signing up for the movie, they require your age. You have to put your age on it. They want your date of birth and your age.
Oh
And of
wow.
course, when you yes, you have when you fill out the because what they do, they put the information out in your email. And if it's something that you want, if it's a movie that you want to get into, you sign up for it. You got to put your age, your height, your weight, the whole 9 yards, all of
What?
your information. And yes, you have to put your age and your date of birth and your height and your weight. And there's a reason for that because a lot of times for movies you have to do fitting, so that's why they want to know your size. Because
Okay.
if it's a
Well, yeah.
particular role
Okay.
and they have to fit you, they want to make
Right.
sure that you can fit into whatever costume they have.
Right.
In some
Mm-hmm.
cases, even
So
when they're not
Different.
doing
casting,
that, they want your size.
yes,
But
so
they also
casting is
want your age.
important.
Yes,
Hmm.
they also want your age because it might depend on the role.
Right.
If you need to be young and slim and energetic to jump over someplace or walk far or stuff like that,
Ah.
then they need to know your age. So that is
Okay. That makes
always a
sense.
requirement here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
little different when it comes down to
Yeah.
casting and all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
But
But a lot
I
of
I
times
I
when we
I
come
personally
here,
know
we
of people.
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jackie.
No, I said I personally know of someone who said that come in here, they all even just a pack bag because them have a goal back home, to build their life, even just to pack a bag.
Mhm.
And it don't, no matter where them go and sleep, and we sleep on the bridge or something. That person did come here, get out one entry, and slide. But there wasn't the person wasn't taking into consideration that here you have 4 seasons.
You have the Four
So
Seasons.
you can't look out.
Mhm.
right.
I would have to put onion
Yes, there's
and pepper and
not the
scallion.
hotel this time.
Yeah.
Not the hotel this time. You know, you understand?
Right. Right.
So when
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Wearing their
yeah.
shorts and t-shirt couldn't manage the late
Yes.
December. The late December, that's
Yes.
when the reality really kicked
Really
in.
hit them.
That it's not a matter of just picking up your bags and
So,
come.
so here is
Because
my
that's
thing.
real reality. Because
So here is here is a scenario, real thing. So I'm in a conversation with someone, and they come up from time to time and do their little stint, right? And they go back home. They're not working in Jamaica. So whenever they come, they do their thing and they go back. Now, the money may be working when you're getting it because you're not buying your own food, right? You're living. You're not buying your own food. You're not paying rent, mortgage. You're not commuting. You're not living here for that daily experience. So yes, the money will seem as though you can just go into the supermarket and pick up the rice and the sugar. And you know me like speak when we get to disappoint when we send home a message. And and
Yes.
so I don't think she getting it. She's saying, yes, Denise, people can come here and live. I say, yes, you can come and live. But remember, when you go back with that lump sum of money, at some point it have to go use up because you're not working. So you're going to have to spend it and nothing is coming in. But when you are here, you're not having the day-to-day challenges of life.
The
So
demands.
I am saying if at any time she says to me, she going to stay, I don't know how to say, think of it carefully
the
before
bills.
you do.
Mm-hmm.
Because when
Yes.
you start to pay, they might go ask you for your light, Coned. You have to
Mm-hmm.
pay whatever else, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you get sick and you not live here, you don't have no health insurance. So we are just saying, hey, you want to work there, Farin, but
Oh
make
yeah.
Definitely.
sure that you plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure because it's like me and anybody else who, yes, me come, me get a job, me never had to go through no hardship. Me come into one and then me transition into another. So the Lord was there for me to open doors. But then there was a time when somebody said, hey, Denise, me can't keep you. What was my next best bet? Me have to go find job. And I tell people I was saying anything you give me, me we do. So I had to now open my mind to say, listen, you have to survive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you don't have support here, it worse.
Oh yeah.
Tell me
And you
about
know, a
it.
lot of
Yes.
times coming
Exactly,
here,
exactly. It's survival of the fittest.
yeah, but sometimes well, some people come and they are unskilled and they have to work their way up. But then you have some people come here and they have qualifications, they have degrees, and they come and they are underemployed. They have to just take whatever they can get to keep themselves
Whatever there
afloat.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh
And
yes.
you know, and it
Here's
would
a
be so
true
yeah.
story sitting right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
This is
and then so,
I am a true story of that. I
mm-hmm.
mean, my stories are many, ladies. There are
So
many.
Max,
There are so many.
I'm gonna ask you to hold your story. I have to take a quick commercial break. It's Saturday morning runnings, 10:31. I'll be right back.
Lions United Sports Club, 111-29, 172nd Street, Jamaica, Queens. Semi-annual fish fry on Friday, April 19, 2 p.m. to midnight is the perfect spot to bring your girl and your guy, family and friends. Enjoy escovitch fish and steamed fish for $35 and jerk chicken $25. Food nice can done. Spread the news. Contact Earl 516-303-3707 or Dennis 917-373-1950. Lions United Sports Club Semi-Annual Fish Fry April 19.
Welcome back to Saturday morning runnings with Daya, and it's a good morning. I wonder where Jackie flew off to.
Disappeared to thin air.
Jackie flew off to somewhere. Okay, but hey, we were talking about,
Max
some of
was gonna
the,
say something.
yes. So yeah, I'm about to transition there. So if you're just joining us, we're there, Farin, come, but make sure when you come,
There
you're
galore.
planning for it. Go ahead, Max.
Okay, so I just wanted to say when I came to this country, I never came here with documents. I came here on a visa and decided to stay like many of us have done. And of course, I went to an agency and I got a job, a living job. And I did that living job, but lo and behold, it was more than what I had bargained for because it was a lot of work. It was just enough work. I went from, I mean, I don't know if you guys listen to my song. You see me story, me glory, but you don't know my story. That's one of my songs. And these are the things
Mm-hmm.
that led me to writing the way I write because of my experiences, especially here in this country. Because I came here pretty young, well, young enough, in my 30s. And I used to leave from when I would work the whole week in this house living job. And when the owner or the person I was working for would drive me to the bus stop on a Sunday morning because I would get Mondays off. And she would drop me off at the bus stop every Sunday morning so I could get the bus to come to the Bronx. And I remember I got some little additional job to do on the weekend. And one Sunday morning, she drove me. I said to her, drop me over there. Don't leave me here. And she said, where are you going? Why are you going to that bus stop over there? And I said to her, I lied to her. I said, I'm going to pick up something from somebody in Mount Vernon. But really and truly, I was going to do another job. And that's why, hence my son used to leave from work, go to work. I would leave from their
Oh.
job to another job. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you listen to my songs and listen to the lyrics, you'll hear my life story in these songs. But
Yeah, I
there's
like
one
that
particular
song.
story.
I like that song.
Yes.
Me leave from
And
work,
even
go
the
to
one
work.
survival of the toughest.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah,
still live from work, go to work. And that's a
yeah.
fact. There's no makeup things. And I used to live from work, go to work in their house too, because what they would do, I would work with the mother in her house, then she would drive me to the daughter and to the daughter-in-law house. And this happened
Mm,
in the same day.
mm,
What?
Ends the line of that song. I'm telling you guys, let me tell you something.
Oh
When you
my.
see people accomplish and acquire, and this is going out for listeners and anybody who will be watching this show, don't ever envy people for what they have. Because some
mm-hmm,
people have to really work real hard and go through stuff to achieve what they
Yeah.
want. I'm telling you,
Wow.
my
mm-hmm,
last job, my last job, which was in the Bronx, I let me tell you something, ladies. You don't know, I could have gone to prison.
Mm.
And let me tell you why. I took care of a patient, an elderly man in the Bronx. He had Alzheimer's. But when I started taking care of it, it was just a dementia. It was just the first onset. So
Mm-hmm.
and when the onset is the first part of Alzheimer's, everybody know how that work or how it happens. It's just like a regular memory loss. So sometimes they're in, sometimes they're out. But I worked with him and took care of him long enough where it went. And I used to have to walk with him to a senior center, which was close by at the time. So I would take him there in the morning and walk him to the center and walk back home. On this particular day, we were walking back to his house. And he was always in front of me walking. Then when we get to the house, he would stop and point and ask me, is it there? And I would say, yes, and he'd walk up to the step and we'd get in the house. This day in particular, we were walking. And all of a sudden, when we got to the house, he wasn't going in. He was just passing, walking past. So I called
Hmm.
him. I said, whatever his name was, I said, Fred, stop. And he wouldn't stop and he started running.
What?
No, I'm fat. Yes, he started running and he's very thin. He was 75 at the time, very thin, very strong. And he started running. And all I'm hollering his name, telling him to stop, he wouldn't stop. And me know I tried to run behind him, just imagine that. And he wouldn't stop. But at the time, Norman was doing running taxi in the Bronx. I had good job I had myself when I had to call him. I said, Norman, come, you need to help me. And Norman, wherever he was, luckily he was in the Bronx, so not too far when Norman came. You know where the guy was heading? Bronx River Parkway.
Oh my. On foot.
oh
To the
dear.
main road. So Norman was just on time to come and before we got onto the main road. And when we caught up with Norman, picked me up in the car, we caught up to him. and there was a lady standing there. Apparently she was waiting on the bus or something to go to work. She was a nurse because she had on her uniform. And she had to help us to get him in the car because he's very strong. It was a fight to get him in the car. And we put him in the car and we had to put the child lock on because he was trying to open the car door. Let me tell you something. That day is a day I would never forget.
I can
ladies,
imagine.
because I saw myself in prison. And the worst part about it is that I never had a document, I never had a green card. I never had documents. I was undocumented. So we had to put him in the car and drive him to the house. And we managed to get him in the house. And from that day forward, I told the family, I said, never again. I said, if I have to go outside, one of you have to be here. I am not for any reason going to take him any place by myself again.
Yeah.
And I never did. Yeah, I said, if you can't live up to that, then get somebody. But I'm not going to get myself in trouble because of this. So I'm telling you, work there foreign people, but it's not easy. Because elderly job is so nice and easy. But who are you taking care of?
Yeah.
That is true. And a lot of people are doing that, right? Because you work based on relationship and so on. Somebody say, hey, me know one senior person over here, somebody to take care of them. But truthfully, it is something to think about. So thank you, Max. That's very, very important because you can find yourself into some compromising situations that you don't plan for.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. You see your life flash in front of your eyes. A friend of mine who did a similar job while finishing school too. She was doing it at night. Like we were saying, like Lily was just saying, was word of mouth. Somebody else had the person in the day, she had the person in the night. And the patient, well, you have to say patient or whatever you call them, the person then would just sometimes get up in the night, look at her, don't remember her, don't recognize her, and call the police and say, this person broke in the house, have the person removed, screaming bloody murder, and all of that, keep creating scene. And she had to resort to calling, one of the children and say, whenever it started, because sometimes it could be winter or whatever, in the middle of the night, you're not dressed for outside. Get up and open the door and say, you got to go out. I don't know who you are, and put her right outside. And after a while, she had to leave it because she couldn't keep up with it, because the disease progress and the memory goes and whatever else. He was just calling in the middle of the night, police. Oh my goodness. And in those areas, have many of us. So she was like, if they come, they're going to probably think I'm really trying to break in the house.
Yes.
So while we are discussing about the opportunities that are here, and we all want it, everybody wants an opportunity, whether it's here in the US or other parts of the world. But when we are on the ground in Jamaica, we're not seeing the opportunities like that, even if it's there. The first thing comes to mind is to leave. Now, in recent times, I mean, they've always had some kind of a nursing home in some parts on the island, but they weren't as prominent, right? And there are other jobs that people have actually left home and come here to do.
Yes.
That have done had they chosen to stay. So, there you have all of those things that, hey, if you're not willing to say, let me see what is here before I leave, that's not something we do.
Yes, we just come.
Just come.
We don't show.
We live by faith. And sometimes given certain circumstances, persons just want a little one bus, as they would say, I'm gone. And comes what may, I'm staying, I'm doing whatever it takes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's
absolutely. And some of those stories are very some of those stories are very inspiring, because if you listen to some people's stories, you wonder. I met a teacher who came here and became an office cleaner. A teacher from Jamaica who came here became an office cleaner, and now that person is a professor. Because he had a goal. The person had a goal.
Exactly.
Clean the
You have to
floor
make a plan
until
and work
things
it
work
out.
out. And he was able to clean the offices at night and wipe floors in the day, and then eventually got settled, filed for his family, is now a professor.
Right.
Well,
So,
believe it
so
or not,
if we,
In a university. So
I can relate to that a little bit. I have a little bit of that story too. When I was doing living job,
go ahead.
I work with a Jewish family, and I was doing living job because even though I have a good education, I have an associate of science degree in office administration from Jamaica, and even though because I never had documents, I couldn't get into an office to work when I came here. However, it's funny. My stories are so many. I had gone to to a lawyer, a Jewish lawyer, in Manhattan, to start doing paperwork to get my green card. And when I went there, and he discovered my that I had experience in working in an office and stuff like that. He hired me for Mondays only because I was doing a living job. So I would work in the office. So every morning, because I was off on a Monday from my regular job. So every morning, I'd get dressed up in my stockings and my ease and my pocketbook, take the train to Manhattan, do my office work, and then choose a man and put on my crap and my getaways frock and gone on my living job. See what I'm saying? So I played both roles.
Tell you.
And the Jewish people who I was working for never knew I was doing office work on the Monday because I never told them my business. I was always a very private person.
You don't tell them.
No.
Don't tell them.
So I understand what Jackie's saying.
Yeah, many a persons have as they say, loose lips, sink ship.
I used to do
talk too much.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jack.
Jackie's frozen.
Jackie, you're having challenges with your Wi-Fi. You keep freezing. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I came out and came back in. I don't know what's happening this morning.
Well,
no, is it my turn? Okay. No, I was saying, I met somebody. It's usually great to meet somebody from your parish or so on. I met somebody just chatting with some friends one day from my parish. The person was from Brownstown. Found out that the person was also a teacher. So I said, the teacher at Brownstown Secondary School. So I said, oh, nice. I went to St. Hilda's, and the person said, oh, nice. St. Hilda's a good school, man. St. Hilda's a good school. But at the time I was doing 2 jobs. So I would leave from my first job and I would go work at the liquor store, because, you hear trying to, you have a goal. I had my goal. And when the person found out that I was working at the liquor store, he thought that was the only thing I was doing. I didn't even mention anything else about it. You know what? The person turned and said, they were having a conversation, barbershop talk. And they were having a conversation. I don't know where the conversation went, but I was included in the conversation.
Oh, wow.
And the person turned to me and said, which St. Hilda's a girl can I work in a liquor store?
You say that now.
And I looked at him and I said, what are you doing? And I found out that you weren't doing anything greater than what I was doing. Yeah, I'm a St. Hilda's girl, but I came here with a goal. I left and I came here with a goal. So I was working my honest bread. You were selling CDs on the roadside. And you
that's why I say my whole board corner.
You're an agricultural teacher. Agricultural teacher, and not teach agriculture. I'm used to teach them how to plant food. I mean, that's great. The greatest people on this earth, they're farmers. But when you're going to look at me and say, with St. Hilda's girl, St. Hilda's a good school, St. Hilda's girl now go come America, come work in a liquor store. And you don't know my story. When you say something like that, I thought it was very hurtful. I think he took his words back years later when my friends at the same location, he was put out of, and they were congratulating me on my when I got my bachelor's degree, and my, you know, the things that I was doing, and I'm saying, look at that, and it's still at the same place. So you have to have a goal, and don't put people down, because you never know their story and what they have in mind to do.
Yes, absolutely. Can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, but what I appreciate is the fact that yes, there are jobs here, and a lot of people aspire to come to work, and jobs that are available here are certainly not available where we come from at all.
True.
Yes.
They are not available. Some
That is it.
jobs you would never hear of them coming from where you're coming from. But you know, like even sometimes when even where I live, they were doing the facade of the building. And I was surprised when the police was coming up the side of the building. I saw a ponytail, and I said, well, this guy have a nice head of hair. It was a woman. That's the job she was doing. They're working, they're taking bricks, they're fixing the bricks on the side of the building. She coming up in the how many floors up with water bucket and all of them things. So sometimes, you know, the jobs some of the jobs here are extremely creative. Some of them are even cushy, because some people, not everybody come and they fall into a nightmare. You have people who come here and they fall into cushiness, if I want a better word, and they just branch out from there and do what they have to do and go on. You know, so opportunities are here. But sometimes when you look at the dangerous jobs, you say, no, sir, or unhealthy. Some of them are very unhealthy conditions, but the jobs are there. Because what if you had to be like a porta potty cleaner?
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, porta potty cleaner.
Yeah.
You ever hear about dog food tester? A dog food tester.
Yeah, dog food tester too. You have to taste the thing to see if it match up to human.
Oh yes.
No.
And you know that those are the people who make really good money.
It's 60 grand.
Dog
it's 60 grand a year.
Yes. So, you know, and I think after a person comes here, which is why I'm trying to caution the person with the conversation I'm having, to say, listen, you may come and take care of someone. You bathe them, clean them up, what have you. But you don't have your own apartment. You don't have your own bills to pay. So I stop looking at it as though this job that I come here and do, it would be a godsend.
Yeah.
Unless you come here and decide to live in people's house for the rest of your life, take care of someone.
Start treat your body.
Yeah. But you know what? There are times when, say, you have a family member or you have a friend, and you come here and you don't live in, and you know they are your base. So whenever you have a day off, that's where you go, and you know they are your base. You have some people they come, and because they have no bills of their own, you have to maintain. You have to have you have your own bills, and they will just come. And my granny would have said rake and scrape. They just rake and scrape. They are able to save and pile up, because can a bill not coming to you at the end of the month? Nobody not dropping your credit card statement. Nobody not dropping you any rent bill, or motor vehicle insurance, or car payment, whatever. Then you're not getting any of that, and you will.
No tax not coming out of your money.
Hello, IRS don't know your name. And then you turn around now and you accumulate a lot in a possibly a short time span, and you go back home to your district and you say, say Mary Jane now go out with not, because look how you come with X, Y, and Z, and she did that, she never have no car. I remember somebody came, I was basing with a relative of mine. I went back and said she never have a car. Me have to come up there and a train we have to take. And I mean, you're basing there, and she's not charging you anything for food, for lodging when you stay there. When you buy your stuff, you pile it up at her place, and you ship all your barrels from there, and you get everything done from there without a dime, a request for anything. And then
Which
you're
is
going back home now, and by the time the poor lady go back to Jamaica now, the district chef here say, oh, she don't have this, and oh, she don't have that. You know what I mean? That's not
which
good.
is so which is so
That's not
wrong.
nice.
Which is
Yes.
so wrong.
Very
That's
wrong.
why some people will tell you that they're not making
You can't
nobody
stay on
come
the
at them
yard.
yard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not as I know you long
Mm-hmm.
time and so, but you're not coming.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You can't blame
You're not
them.
That's
coming.
the
You can't blame them. People
No.
are
yes.
just they
Yeah,
are
you can't blame
rude.
them.
They're
That's rude.
they don't have no conscience. Cause I'm sure the whole time would be coming there on those every other weekends and not
Yeah.
even want one sugar.
No.
She not buy. But
Mm-hmm.
still
No.
she can be there saying, but look how me I look stay with her. She don't even have a car. She don't even and not realizing that whatever she earns out of that, like anywhere else in the world, you have to cover your bills. And sometimes you can
Yes.
hardly find it. A dollar is a dollar anywhere you go. When
Yeah.
somebody give us
Absolutely.
$100 here in the United States and we go into whether it's a supermarket, a green grocery, by the time the shop might say $2.99, because they tend to look at that, not
Yes.
realizing that the dollar
Mm-hmm.
has its own
Yes.
value in the
Mm-hmm.
country.
Yeah.
Yes. I had
So
to
then,
explain that to my
A
grandmother
dollar in a
years ago
country.
when I
Yeah.
first came here.
so
I
when
had
you
to
have
explain that because they didn't
100
understand.
and you go into somewhere to make a purchase, 5.99, $11.99. By the time you add that up, how much change you leave with out of the $100
Plus tax.
and plus tax?
Mm-hmm. Those
So
thoughts, yeah.
they're not they don't think
Even
they
if you're
don't they
shopping
don't
in a
think of it that
99-cent
way.
store.
Yeah, it still adds up.
Yeah.
It
Yes. You have to
adds
pay tax the
up.
same way.
It adds up. And some of them, if they come to your place and you say, oh, me I go up one can of sardine this evening, I eat it with some rice.
Huh?
That blows their minds. How you can live a foreign and you
Yes.
eat sardine?
I'll eat
Exactly.
sardine for dinner.
Exactly.
Who loves
Yeah.
sardine like me, please?
Like
So
I
we
never
Yeah.
just
sardine, like I never sardine and dumpling, sardine and two little flour dumpling we grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
And that so
well,
we survived until we were able to take the plane. Sardine and our two flour dumpling and butter. I remember that we
Oh
never have
yeah.
the sardine to go with it. Two flour dumpling and little salt butter. And
Mm-hmm.
right?
if
Because
anybody can relate to that, put it in the chat. Let me see.
so
Because
so
I can relate to that. Two
when a
little
Yeah.
flour dumpling and butter.
when a person comes in their home and close their doors, they know how to fall into survival mode. If there's no oxtail, if there's no shrimp, no fish, no this, no that, you open your cupboard and you say, this mega box this evening.
That's it.
Yes. And so it
And you
go.
go on to your
Feel you.
bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we just want to say,
Yes, sometimes I
walk
sardine and
there,
crackers.
walk there, Farin
Yeah.
there, come.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you're coming, get some counseling because you need
Yes.
it.
Yes,
Get
there
go
should be.
consult.
It's true.
Consult with
That's a very
somebody.
good thing to say, Lady D. When they go to get the visa, there should be a counselor if you tell them how foreign state. Can I give a quick story here? And this is another true situation of somebody I know when I lived in the Bronx. This guy came here, never have documents either, was working in a restaurant. Dark skinned guy. And the next time I saw him, he was light skinned. You know why? This person worked in a restaurant in go work when sun not rise yet and left when sun set.
Oh God.
I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
If work him go work 5 o'clock in the morning when he might left for 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night. Work all
Oh
day.
my.
Never had documents, work for little and nothing till he get light skin until he finally got his document because the person he was working for helped him to get his documents eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But as we
Him
say,
probably
what they
was
have time, but
vitamin D deficient.
yes, because he would just all of that is in one of my songs. That line is in my song. Survival at the
Mm-hmm.
toughest. That line is in my
Yeah.
see sunrise now sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Never saw
sometimes that
sunrise nor
causes
sunset.
And that causes illnesses. Sometimes we pop
Lack
up
of
with some
vitamin D.
maladies and you wonder where it come from, because they tell you it's a
Yeah.
known fact. And Jackie,
Yeah,
you have to
vitamin
check
D
that out too in your
deficiency.
profession.
Mm-hmm.
Working under like the fluorescent lighting without benefit of actual lighting or the sun, if you do it for a long period of
Right.
time, you get sick. I forget what the thing is that you
Yeah.
get. But the fluorescent lighting
Yeah,
is
and
not good. That's
especially
why with
women,
nurses and doctors.
it affects your
What's it
bones.
there?
It affects your bones,
Mm-hmm.
especially women. It affects your
Mm-hmm.
bones. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
osteoarthritis or osteoporosis. It affects your
Oh,
bones
Mm-hmm.
because if you
yikes.
have no vitamin D, you cannot your body cannot absorb calcium. You need vitamin D and
Mm,
calcium
Yes.
to work together.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
That's
You
what
Well,
I'm
see?
talking
that is
about.
something. That's
Your
something I take, boy.
bones
My
strong. And if you're
vitamin
not
D.
getting the natural vitamin
Yeah.
D, of course, you're gonna
Yeah.
fall
Yes.
into problems.
But something too. What there was a study that was put out some time ago, and they said that if you also look at the migration trend or the immigration trend, um,
Mm-hmm.
there were a lot of men who would leave their families and go overseas to work, whether it was farm working, what have you. But that
Mm-hmm.
trend has also changed, and you find that more women are leaving.
Women.
Yeah.
True.
Mm-hmm.
More women are leaving. Now, while we may be able to multitask and so on, it has its repercussions.
Yeah.
if
Yes.
if you have children, you leave your children, you leave your family. If it's a family unit with parents, father,
Mm-hmm.
mother, so on, they tell you that there is a breakdown in the relationship between man woman. There's a breakdown in the relationship with your children, even if you're doing FaceTime and so on. That parental
Right.
maternal contact that you need with your children, if especially if you leave them and them can come to see you.
Right.
so,
Yes.
so there's that. There are those who leave, and from they leave they don't actually have a chance to hug their child or children
Mm-hmm.
until
Yes, and a
years
lot of times too.
until years
A lot of
later.
sorry, if I can chime in right there. A lot of times they're here hugging other people's kids and theirs are not getting hugged.
Oh
Right.
Because
God.
if you do
Yes, it's
child care, you
true.
have to take care of this them face
Mm-hmm.
picnic, all that line in my song. You have to take care of face picnic. And you have your own kid and they're left on their own.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's a myriad of things. But let's take a break. It's a
Yeah.
minute to 11. Let's say hello, because we've been talking and we haven't been engaging our audience. Good morning to Vero. Good morning, Ver. And Charles, he says good morning as always. Then we come down to Drea. She says morning over there in Barbados. What's going on in? Hey, Wayne. How you do? I love this Lady D. Very interesting topic, very informative. Keep up the good work, and I enjoy your show. Thanks, Wayne. Then Ralphie's in the house. Good morning, ladies. Keep on shining bright, and be the light. Thank you,
Well,
Ralphie.
Thank you.
He says,
thanks.
he continues by saying, as the elderly folks say, take what you get until you get what you want. Mhm.
Absolutely. That's what I had
Indeed.
to do.
Uh,
Yeah.
Charles, he says, being through that, especially when my children were in college, not having our papers, it was hard. Thank God for his mercy and strength.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
Brenda pops in, a beautiful and blessed good morning, Queens. Thank you, Brenda. Look who is in the house. Hey, hey, love the story. All you queens looking fab. We can depend. Good morning, Mom. So, who right now has a master's degree in her field, and because of circumstances that alter cases is working in a laundromat? Mhm. See there now?
Wow.
My
Um,
sister, that's my
oh,
sister.
then she also says boiled up
Going on the
ackee with
laundry with
no
no
saltfish,
saltfish.
only butter.
But
So Ryan says,
we
I
All
survive.
did not
right.
know that the vitamin D was so important about 10 years ago. Mine was zero when I went to the doctor. The doctor has to give me the emergency vitamin D right here in the office, right there in the office.
Me
Okay.
Oh
too. Me
yeah.
too. I had to get it. I got it a
Can't
few
play.
years ago too.
He says,
Yeah.
after that, I take vitamin D every day, one vitamin D every day.
Me too.
Me too. For me, never lost, so, but yes, it
And
was a
especially if you're
Mine
in
was
gentleman.
the
low. I had to get an
Northeast.
injection.
It was a gentleman,
Yeah, mine was low. I had to
Dr.
get an
Back.
injection right there too.
It was a doctor who had a presentation at church and started to do his consult there. Um, it shared with us about the importance of vitamin D. And after that, I don't look back. That's a staple in the medicine thing.
Yeah.
Same
It's not
here.
gone nowhere. Yes, but we'd like to welcome you to the show this morning. Work there, Farin. Yes, it is. And we're not stopping you from coming. Please come. If you want work, just make sure that when you're coming, you have a plan in place. Many of us know that
Yes.
we had no plan. Well, I had a plan, but it fell through. So me understand that. But the blessing is that the Lord kept me and keep me in a job. And then when me never had any, me go to street, go walk. And me share it already. Me walk out the whole of White. So me know White Plains Road pass was beyond the Gun Hill and White Plains Road. I
You was
walk
on a
out.
wing. You was on a wing and a prayer.
I walk out the whole of Mount Vernon. Me just a walk with my backpack and I ask people to hire me. So make sure. But I had a roof. And the Lord is very strategic. Sometimes people say, so everybody are come on New York. But guess what? It's
And
only
this on the basement.
it's only my Auntie Paula and myself who were here in New York. So when I had to give up my apartment after the little job now happen no more, me now want in no rent with landlord issue. I said, as lovely as you are, I have to give you up. And she said, come,
Yes.
stay with us. She and her daughter at the time. If not, me was in church, me at church. So me no say, even if that fell through, I would have had somebody to say, Lady D, come. Do not come into a country and isolate yourself because you know want nobody ask you nothing, no beg you nothing. Don't take away that pride component. Make sure you link with people because you're going to need them
Exactly.
Yes.
some
You
point in
have, yeah.
time.
Absolutely.
You
I
cannot
always tell
come
people,
into a
say,
foreign
find a
country.
church. When you come, even if you not got church before, find a church.
Yeah. So Charles, he says,
Find a church. You will get the food at least.
there you go. I remember when my son was in college, I leave in the morning and coming back at night when my son asked me if I still live at the house.
Oh God.
And you see, they wouldn't understand.
No.
They wouldn't understand. Yeah, they wouldn't understand. It's 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. It is Saturday morning runnings. At this point, I'd like to pause and to ask those of you, if it's your first time and you are not a subscriber, reminding you to subscribe does not require you to pay any money. It's only saying, hey, the more people you add is the more you can go places. That's it. So we ask you to just tap the word. And you know, we're Jamaican, so we love to laugh about it and say juke. So just juke the word subscribe. And then you juke the bell. You see the word all, and then you juke that too.
And then you're
Yes.
done.
And then
Simple
you're
and
done.
easy.
Very simple.
Simple and
Juke
easy.
like,
No
juke
matter how
comment,
much
juke
practice.
share, juke subscribe. Can't beat it.
Subscribe.
So at the end of the show, we can see that there is a spike in the amount of people who are subscribing. But Saturday morning runnings, we're here each and every Saturday at 10 o'clock. And we go until 11:30. We tried to do an hour, but because we have so much to share, we realized that wasn't working.
We always go over.
we always go
We always
Just
go
a little
overtime.
brighter. Yeah, but anybody remember this story? I hope I can remember it straight. Two guys from Jamaica went to a zoo. Well, they were here looking for work and couldn't find nothing. And when have your stuff together, you have to take whatever. And then was at the
Yes.
zoo and they said, look, two of the lions them died, so we're going to give them a suit. And we go in the lion pen there and act like a lion, with the rest of them just walk around and do nothing. And one of them going down. Anybody ever hear it? And then in there, them are do them thing, but one of them are going extra, the most roaring and pastoring. So the other one, kind of feel cute and I want to do nothing. And him say, hey, he just go up to him and whisper and say, hey, boy, you better do what you do and not lose a little walk,
Oh, Jesus. And again, we do anything.
That's all that bad talk.
Say, if you ever make me lose a little walk, do what you're supposed to do. Throw it in there. We have to roar. We have to do everything because you have to keep up it till when better come along. So that's it.
Yes.
But depending on where you land up, because most of us come out, we are in the tri-state area, so we are near transportation. You can't walk round the clock. You left one job, go to another job. Not all states operate like that.
Yes.
Sometimes you find yourself in the boonies and you're doing some stuff that was never heard of. Anybody about urine collector from deers?
Never
You have to lock up with the deers them overnight, and when them pee, you have to harvest a gallon.
Milker.
Or you milk the snake. Well, milking the snake is a little bit up from the urine collector. Yeah.
Milk snake
from the urine collector.
Yeah, but you do what you gotta do.
Did you say milk a snake?
Yeah, but you get the venom. You have to put their fangs on a glass. And when you squeeze them certain kind of way so that the venom come up. You never see them do it yet?
No, I've never seen or heard anything like that. But that job, hungry that killed me.
Yeah, you put a glass by their fangs.
It's not,
and however you have to squeeze them and the venom comes out. I mean, that's actually a very good job. It pays a lot.
Well, I mean, if you have a phobia, for people who have a phobia, it wouldn't work.
If you have a phobia, then nobody would.
You could be a professional bed tester. You could be a professional bed tester.
I would do that job.
Bed to make sure that I would do that.
Yeah.
A professional bridesmaid.
Okay.
Yes. Or you could also be a professional mourner.
There you go. That is still in demand.
Or a line stander. You stand in line for people.
If you see us near.
Yes, they do have some interesting. And again,
a face. Sure, you saw the face feeler.
No,
I saw it.
What they're peeling off the face? Feeler. No, I didn't see that one.
Feeler.
She's frozen.
Oh, a feeler? Oh, but you know what? When you're talking about feeling,
yes.
What about the professional snuggler?
Thing. Use the hands.
Yeah, the professional snuggler. You just hug up people for $40 an hour. Yes, Max, you could do that.
Yeah, because I love hugging.
Yeah, $40 per hour.
Jamaica had told me that you could be anything. When I told her I was migrating to the United States. She said you could be anything there. It could be even you could even go to school. Make sure you go to school because it's great. And I thought that was just funny.
So what about the? We mentioned the pet.
Go to school to learn to make ice cream.
Right. We mentioned the pet psychologists. They earn about $52,000 a year.
I tell you, and that's a big field. Yeah.
So, so I would be able to communicate with the animals and determine what their thoughts are. What
No,
is
but you
that?
know what? These things take
Interesting.
upwards of 10 years schooling to do. It's not no PR business that,
Yes,
Mhm.
I know. It has to be.
Mhm. Yeah.
But then we have some dangerous jobs like roofers
Exactly.
and crane
You
work, and the
have
people
to
have to
have
go up
good
in the crane.
training.
And then we have the window
Yes.
washers. Those are dangerous jobs.
Let
Mhm.
me tell you, I was working on the 15th floor of a building in the
Mm-hmm.
city. And I just happened to I stood up from my desk because sometimes when you're doing conference calls and so I would get up and kind of pace around. And I happened to look out the window across the street just in
Mm-hmm.
time to see the rope break. Across the
Mhm.
street
But,
was the Pennsylvania Hotel, and there were
Mhm.
no the
mm-hmm.
Southgate Hotel it was called, and there were two guys, one on either end, and they were washing the windows, and I look
Mm-hmm.
out and one of the rope broke,
Oh
and
Lord.
I mean I can't tell you how I felt. The guy just happened to just grab onto the rope. All know me, I tell him I feel weak. The guy grab on to the rope and just start swinging in space because the other side fell. It not fall, but it break and he and the partner got separated. So the partner is on one side, he's on the
Mhm.
other
And the
side.
other.
The bucket with the water and soap, you just see it start falling to the ground, and they were just suspended like Spider-Man just hanging on. I will
Mhm.
hurry
Oh
up and cut.
Lord.
Luckily, up the block was a firehouse, and a precinct was maybe two other blocks down.
Mhm.
And I mean, myself saw it. Other people apparently saw it too, and they called 911. And those guys hung on there for a few minutes. It looked like it took, because people were screaming, looking out windows, and then when you look at, you saw the firemen opening up windows like above and below where the guys were,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and
so they
and
could
that's how
climb in.
they pulled them in. But if they weren't brave enough to keep holding on just to the rope, suspended in space for that length of time, they would have both been killed. I wonder to myself, did they ever go back to work again? Because if
Mhm.
Oh
that was
Lord.
me, that's the last day. I'm not going back up there.
No, well, I have a phobia for heights, so hungry would have killed me. Them the work me now do. Them couldn't pay me to do it. I don't like heights. I have a phobia when it comes to heights, even flying.
Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
Oh.
roofers have it very hard, and
I'm
I
actually
wonder
hungry
about it
again.
because in my subdivision, I watch them a lot because most of the homes in my subdivision people have changed their roofs. Of course, we had ours changed too. And the day when they were doing us, I watched these guys. It's like they were all Asians. They were not Asians. They're all Spanish people. About
Mhm.
seven of them were here working on the roof, and them not have no honest. I hold up. Maybe two of them are honest, but the others were there were taking up putting the stuff or passing it up. They weren't wearing harness. They just up there, sir.
Oh
And I'm
my.
looking at them like, yes. I said, are these people scared because I'm scared of heights? So to watch
Mm-hmm.
them, it was just detrimental for me to even watch. But I admire them, and they people you can bet some of them probably don't even have documents, so they do
I
what
was
they got
about
to
to
do.
say, if they are doing
Yes,
that
they
job
do.
without,
Right.
yeah, without the
Dangerous,
proper
not have no paper,
equipment.
not have any insurance or
Yeah.
anything, and you have to
Oh
be there
yeah.
because you have to take care of your family and pay your
Yeah.
bills. So what they are
Yeah.
foreign and come it's here.
Yeah. But do it now.
And not only that, they are also exposed to the elements, and being
Mhm.
exposed to the
Mhm.
elements like
Yes.
that, they're not even thinking that
Yeah.
they could get skin cancer.
You know,
They're in the
that.
sun all day, and we think that because
Yes.
All
you're
Oh
day,
yeah.
dark,
yes.
you might not have that ability, but it's not so.
Mhm. Mhm. Then you heard of an
So that's another
underwater
thing.
welder? An underwater welder.
What?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
I
You
know
have to have
somebody that
diving
does that. I
skills,
know I knew somebody that does that.
and it's
Yeah, the
80,000 a
underwater
year.
welder. It's a big thing, especially with the cruise ships big cruise ships that you see out there. They employ
Mhm.
people like that, underwater
Mhm.
welders. I knew somebody that did that because I
Mm-hmm.
used to work
And
in
you
water sports, And it was during that time that I met somebody that did that.
Oh, you must obtain commercial diving and welding certifications, and it's $80,000.
Well, there you go.
And there's
Yes.
the crime scene cleaner.
Yes,
Oh
that
Lord,
that
yes.
one is really a squeamish one.
Now,
Yes.
there is what is
Have to
called
This,
do.
a food stylist.
yeah.
A food what?
Stylist.
Stylist.
Oh yes, I
Okay.
saw that. That's
Mhm.
I.
What does that
There is a
entail?
documentary
Hotel.
right now. I think it's on
Yes.
Hulu. I think it's on Hulu where where this lady was describing her job. That's what she does.
Yes, a food stylist is one of the best high paying weird jobs. It requires preparing and styling food for advertisements, magazines, and films, making it look appetizing and visually appealing. While a formal degree
Yes.
is not necessary, a background in culinary arts or photography can be beneficial. Median salaries range from 45 to 75 or more.
Okay. Well, some people have a
Yes.
natural flair for
And a
those
lot of
things.
the
So
foods that you
Yes.
see, they put in these pictures, they're not real. She was just showing how
Yes.
she
Yeah.
paints them and create it to look like the actual thing. So it's
That's
not
true.
real.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then there's the one taster
So that's
who
another
always go
really
always jump.
interesting.
yeah, them not drunk, you
Well,
know,
I
man,
used to work
because
for
there's a
one
way to do
company.
it.
I used to be a wine taster.
Mhm.
I used
Oh
to be a wine
Lord.
taster. Me never drunk. I
See
work for
that?
one company.
Yes, there's something about
I used
switching it at the
to do
palate and
wine
all of that stuff.
tastings.
Mhm. So there is what is called a professional ethical hacker.
All right now.
Professional
Okay.
ethical hackers or penetration testers are cybersecurity experts
Yes, I was
Oh
gonna say
yeah.
assess
penetrator. They call it.
they assess and secure computer systems. They
Yes.
can earn six-figure
Mhm.
salaries, even much more, depending
Yeah, I
on
was
their
about to
skill.
say, yeah, those are one of those unusual jobs that are coming up. You see, now our children, like my grandchildren, they will get those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Those jobs were not there when we were coming up,
No,
Absolutely
but
they're
now
not.
not. Yep.
they are a thing. They are a thing now. Yeah.
Mhm.
So then you have the
Yep.
ethno or ethno, but it's ethnobotanist.
Okay.
They study the relationship between plants and people, often working
Mhm.
with indigenous communities to learn about traditional plant uses. They can earn between 50,000 and 90,000 per year. A degree in
Wow.
ethnobotany, anthropology, or botany is valuable in this field.
Do you remember when we were taught
Botany.
botany in high school? It was one of those
Mm-hmm.
sciences.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
biology. Yeah.
I don't think it's a thing anymore though. I mean, I don't know. But how about a train pusher?
No,
This is I mean that's not available here. It's a thing in
Who can
Japan
push
where
a
you
train?
no you're not push the train,
You
you
know,
push people in the train.
that sounds like that's like somewhere in
no,
New Delhi. That
You
sounds like
help
somewhere
to
in New
cram.
Delhi.
Yeah, they
I
said it
did
will
see
help
that,
to
but I didn't know.
cram.
I thought they were conductors. I thought they were
Hmm?
conductors who were pushing the people in. I never knew that was a
No,
job.
you work on the platform by pushing people in to see how many to make sure as many as can fit in the train car fit. So you push them until the doors close.
That
but
sounds like
Sharon,
Huh?
we
India.
have that job. We have that job in Jamaica. We have bus pushers. Because you have the guys who will get the people and push them in the bus. You
Right.
The
remember?
doctor.
The
They run
Doctor.
it down and grab your bag and put you onto the bus, and they would, and the bus driver would pay them.
And I said, small up yourself. Small up yourself.
Pushing small up yourself. Jamaica, the only place I'm
Yeah.
telling that. Small up yourself.
Oh
No, you do
yes.
that.
Yes,
And then you put in the cross seat. You put
Ladies,
in the
small up
cross
yourself.
seat. So
yes,
you
the
put
cross
in the
seat. I
cross
remember the
seat.
cross seat.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mhm.
cross seat going last. After all else fails, now you pull out the cross seat.
Yes, so
That's
those were
something
bus
else.
pushers.
A bush, yeah. A train pusher. Well, if you have bus, but train pusher. Or how about an
Mm-hmm.
order? How about an order, Judge? That's something that is here. An order, ODOR. You are hired to smell volunteers' breath, feet, and armpits to test the effectiveness of new products. That's something you can wake up to every morning. And mind you, your sense of smell is tested on a monthly basis to make sure that it's still effective. You know, you're still at work. Yeah, because when they make all, you see all of a sudden now on the market they have all these wipes and all these various sprays for body odor, and people are just, I stink. This girl will come up, I stink all over. I mean, I said, go on, go bed. You come advertise some kind of wipes or spray. Go on, go bed, man. That need time for bed.
Yes.
No, you know to the ad yet. He's a beautiful girl, but she has I think all over, and not just my armpit.
Toilet paper sniffer.
What?
Paper sniffer.
Are you sniffing it for what?
Paper towel sniffer. Paper towel.
You sniff it when?
Paper towel sniffer.
Before or after usage?
A paper towel. I'm trying to figure out because I'm looking at it right now. Toilet. It's a paper towel sniffer. So I have to read on to see what.
Yes, to see how that works.
It's before.
I mean, I might be interested. It sounds easy enough.
So here is one. They say what makes a job weird? What makes a job weird? A job can be weird for several valid reasons. Usually it is the culture that is in play. The more different the culture, the weirder a job will look for you. The weirdest jobs in America will look normal in a place like Sweden or Finland. Each job will have things that make it odd when viewed with a different cultural lens.
Yes. True, I can see that.
True.
What is normal?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can see that. But you know what? Even the gastroenterologist here.
These towel sniffers would be. Go ahead, Sharon.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Go ahead, Sharon. I'm telling you to go ahead.
Finish about the towel sniffer. Go ahead.
No.
Yeah,
it says the towel. Yeah, have a delay. The towel manufacturers would hire these people. So you would sniff test the products to check if they smell good or not. And the position may be limited though. And in order to be competitive, you'll need to have more than just a good nose for business.
Well, excuse me. All right.
Can't manage it.
You're not, but I with it, Max.
And
you have a professional apologizer.
Wow. And how much does that pay?
This may they didn't put, but it says this may be your greatest suit if you have a strong "I'm sorry" or consistent apology quality. The professional apologizer is among the strangest professions we are considering. A person who apologizes on behalf of others in their place is known as a professional apologizer. They continually offer their condolences to a hurting individual until their objective is achieved.
Okay.
That's a call making up was part of the plan. So like Oliver.
That might be a good fit for some people. Yeah. But even with gastroenterologists, remember they have to work with bowel problems, you know.
Yes.
When you do like the stool samples and they have to look at it and do the assessment and manipulate it and all the things they do to come up with what ails you. That is I mean they make 300K and above for that. And I think they deserve every dime.
Yes, very much so. Because that job
Yes.
is not for me.
We have to, yes, because
That's why that's why one of the
and
reasons
it's
why
kind
in
of
New York.
dangerous to don't know what kind
It
of
is
Yeah.
dangerous. Yeah. You have to
It's
make
like
sure
dog
you're,
walking in
you're
New York.
wearing protective clothing.
Yes. Now I was
Yeah,
saying it's
as
like
they
dog
say, it's
walking
a
in New
dirty
York.
job, but somebody got to do it.
Do it, yes. Dog
Mhm.
walkers in New York, they're paid very well.
Yes, they are.
And
They're paid
Yes.
very
even,
well, but
yes.
yeah. And what about it? I'm always fascinated by this lady I met, and I've mentioned her before. She's a graphologist. They're handwriting experts.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Mhm.
that's nice.
Well, yes,
Yes.
it's
Oh,
That's
they
a good job.
study
I
they
know about
study
that one. Yeah.
handwriting,
that's
especially for the purposes of character analysis. This is very different from
Mhm.
the expertise of a handwriting expert. However, some graphologists also refer to themselves as handwriting experts. They can crack a case. They can look if you press down a little
Mhm.
harder than the person who it's their natural handwriting. They
Right.
can tell you where the ink
Yes,
seem a little more blurred on the in
yes,
your
Mm-hmm.
cursive line.
change.
Yes, all of
Yes.
those things they look at. So the lady I
Yeah, to,
know,
cause forgery and all that stuff.
mhm, so
yes.
Mm-hmm.
she had helped to break a case in Jamaica a few years ago. I've had her on my show a few times, and I have a book
Yeah.
that
Okay.
you have a book that she had given me, and I look at it, and you can really see the forgery. They look at you, but with the naked eye, if you're
Yes.
not paying attention, you're gonna miss it.
You won't see
Hmm.
it. Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you
interesting
have to
how.
dissect it, and you will really see the difference. But just looking at a glance, you
Mhm.
can't tell.
Something I always find
Well,
something I find very interesting is watching the presidents sign their names. They use about 12 different pens at the same time to
Mhm.
sign. Anybody knows anything about
mm-hmm.
why they do that? Or,
I've seen it. I've seen
notice
Obama
it?
done that.
I have no
Like the
They
idea.
use a
presidents are
different.
signing and they use one pen and write this one. And then they continue with another pen, then another pen,
Yes,
then another pen to finish the
I've seen Obama
signatures.
do
Mm-hmm.
that. I've seen
I
President Obama do that
find that
before.
very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, we should look into that. They do that all the time.
Yes.
Mhm.
Maybe the
I
pens
never,
become souvenirs because sometimes they
yeah,
give the
that's,
pens away. Like when um
Yes.
when
no, they
President
do.
Biden had signed
Actually,
that,
them
they
give
give
the
the
pens
pens
away.
away.
So here is
Yeah,
Yes.
why.
I mean,
I've
I
told
don't
them
know
Here
if
that.
is
that's why
why.
they do it, but
Yeah.
oh, go
So
ahead, Lady D.
so here is why, courtesy of CNN. Why do presidents use so many pens to sign documents, and what happens to them? When President Joe Biden sat down after his inauguration to sign a slew of executive orders, alongside the stack of Navy folders was a wooden box situated within easy reach. Inside of that box, ready for use, lay a neat row of gold trimmed Navy Cross um, Century 2 pens. But why so many pens? 11 pens, rather.
Mhm.
But why so many pens? As Biden continues to sign more executive orders, 17 on Wednesday alone and 13 more in the days following, it raises a question. Is one not enough? Well, like everything to do with the White House, it's mainly because of tradition. It's
Mhm.
not clear which president started using multiple pens to sign single pieces of legislation, but historians do know the tradition stretches across decades. After the pens are used, they are typically handed out to those involved as a sort of historical artifact. So
Makes sense.
they do give them away.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to share the
Makes sense.
spotlight
Yeah.
and acknowledge the contributions of others and so on. So yeah, you'll get the
Here
pen
you go.
pretty much.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
11:31, and we're
But you know,
gonna
when you
wrap
use
up
one
now.
pen, it's one continuous signature.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we're over.
Yeah, we're heading up. But we want to
Yeah.
say
Overtime.
thanks to everyone for tuning in this morning. I think we touched a lot of points that kind of say, hey, Mary, make me caution, or, but if Mary decides that she coming to
She
America,
coming.
then she coming. Nothing you can do about
Mm-hmm.
that. But the country we know that it has so much to offer, and it's about you tapping into the right portions of it, because people have come here and have tapped into the areas that have caused them to find themselves in conflict with the law,
Oh
or
yeah.
you become a name. People know you. You're doing well. You're making
Mm-hmm.
millions. You're giving back, because we can't leave that out. You're giving back.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
You're blessing
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
others. But work there, Farin. And as we mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
some of them, you never know. You might come and want to tap into one of those.
Yeah, and also we can't forget that some of us have come here and have introduced industries and businesses that weren't in existence prior to our arrival.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes.
and by doing that, you can now employ others. So some of us have really come here and be innovators, movers, and shakers. So we can't forget that either.
So Gooden is asking, where are these jobs posted? Check Google, Gooden. We
Google
just
is
did
my
a
In,
number
quick.
in,
one girl.
them
Yes.
about a professional lice remover. You can probably check that out.
And before
Head lice remover. Let me see how much that pay. And that pays 50 grand.
There you go.
No,
Well,
sir.
but I could not get that job. You know why?
no,
Because back when we were back home in the city, Kingston, there was a friend of mine. Her little niece had contracted lice. I mean to say, me sit down with my little tail comb. Those silver tails. This not the regular, the silver ones.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I
I
know
mean,
them.
it's
Not so
almost
lucky.
like I took a strand by strand, because her head was filled with lice.
Infested.
Wow.
Mm.
Me mean to say me move, and there was this kind of a uh it's grainy. They had given it to me to use in her hair. Dark. I don't remember what that was now, but I used the tail, and I separate the hair, and I'm not looking for them. I'm just making sure that her entire scalp is saturated. And then
Oh, with the oh,
yes, and then you tie it up.
okay.
Yes, man. And hey, them get suffocated.
Hated
Mm,
and dead. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Just
mm.
no,
need brown soap and
you go
comfort
through
leave.
you go through the process now of after that. You what, Max?
My grandmother used I remember my little brother, because my mother's married to Indian, and my little brother had lice. And my grandmother
years.
just called him over to us, and she used brown soap and soap of him here, soap it up, really lather
Mm-hmm.
it, and use
Mm-hmm.
cow foot leaf. You guys know cow foot leaf. It's round and broad.
Okay.
Cow foot leaf is big and it's
Mm-hmm.
round, and she put it over the soap and tie it up for a few hours, and it killed them all and never come back.
Mm-hmm. Same thing I did in
Wow.
Yes,
her head. I tied with her little tie head,
Wow.
and then
yes,
yeah, man. But I kept that overnight. You could sleep with it,
yes,
and
Mm,
then
mm.
yes.
And
work on
before we
her the
go,
next
we
day.
can't forget the students who are getting to come here on their work study programs. They do some of them can tell you some stories about the jobs that they come here and do
I
to put
do.
together their tuition to pay their
Mhm.
school fees and so on in Jamaica. And they
Mm.
work, and and they come from year to year, and some of them have permanent jobs based on that. So
Right. Well,
just that.
thank you, everyone. Thank you, ladies, as always. And to our audience, we appreciate you. Thank you for spending the time. And I hope those of you who are, oh, mom say dip. Okay. Oh, Cooper's dip. All right. So I want to say thanks to everyone who tuned in this morning to the show. Farin Diamond, come. Just plan when you come, but come. We not stop you. The port is opened. We wish you all a wonderful day today and for the rest of the weekend. And we'll come back with something next week, so we roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all, God willing, next Saturday morning to do it all over again for Saturday morning runnings. Don't forget to catch me on Inside the Zone on Mondays. That's tagged the Monday Drive from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Center Stage. And I've been having some really good conversations with our guests. So I'm looking forward to doing that on Monday. But blessings, everybody. Oh, no, what? Good now, me I can't go up.
Me too.
Me a go
One
up
up.
too. Me a go eat my breakfast.
Me I can't gala
All
go.
right.
Go up. One up, daddies.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Okay, blessings,
Take
everybody.
care.
Bye.
Take it easy.
All right.
Bye.
You want work there Farin. In Jamaica, the dream of a better life often leads many to set their sights on the land of opportunity, America. But as they embark on this journey, they quickly realize that the path to success is not always paved with gold. Instead, they find themselves navigating a world of weird, unusual, difficult, and dangerous jobs, roles they never imagined in their wildest dreams. Life in Jamaica may be hard, but here in America, it's a whole different ball game. A Saturday morning runnings. Come, make we talk. Lions United Sports Club, 111-29, 172nd Street, Jamaica, Queens. Semi-annual fish fry on Friday, April 19, 2 p.m. to midnight is the perfect spot to bring your girl and your guy, family and friends. Enjoy escovitch fish and steamed fish for $35 and jerk chicken $25. Food nice can done. Spread the news. Contact Earl 516-303-3707 or Dennis 917-373-1950. Lions United Sports Club Semi-Annual Fish Fry, April 19. For 2 days, the 5 o'clock hour is hot on Fit FM 96.7, www.fitfmja.com. Your life, your music with Lady D, Denise Gomez, Inside the Zone. Catch me on Monday at 5 p.m. for the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. And on Friday, yes, at 5 p.m. for Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. From abroad to yard, Trelawney. Hi, I'm Lady D, Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing. Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Mail Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592.